Sean from the Nearly Historical Railroad channel, Model Railroad that is. So if you saw our last video, we tore stuff out. You're supposed to build model railroads, not tear it out. But it happens. You gotta tear stuff out sometimes. Change something up, whatever. So take a look at that video if you want to see what was going on. So now we get to start putting stuff back together. We're reusing some old stuff, and actually I have to still do a little more scavenging because this whole narrow gauge layout is pretty much all hand-laid track, which is really cool. Kind of a lost art almost. Nah, not really, I guess people still do it. Whatever. Point is I want to keep with that. So there's some road bed with hand-laid track inside the mountain that we're not using anymore. So I'm gonna try to pull that out and reuse it so I don't have to hand lay a bunch of ties. Might as well reuse it. So you gotta piece it all together and whatnot. So that's the main thing we're doing in this video. We get to start rebuilding stuff. So that's pretty exciting. And so at this point, we will head to the train room. See you there. Working along, and then all of a sudden there's blood on her hand. Where'd that come from? So here's some pieces of old road bed, but the cool thing is it's all hand laid track. It's all hand laid. So, you know, just trying to see what I have and where I can use it. Because again, the more of this I can use, the less I have to actually hand lay myself. So we're going to try to reuse the tunnel portal, or one of them. Yeah. So here it is. There's this one, and there's that one. That's kind of cool. So
it's like when somebody's talking on the phone.
What people are trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to talk to the fine folks out in YouTube world. So you know who you are. So we gotta cut this thing in half. Just like that, we have two tunnels. Two tunnel portals. So we're gonna try and splice two pieces of old road bed together. They're not always the same thickness, so it gets a little challenging. work. This is super elevated a little bit. So it's gonna be a little bit of a high spot on one side. I think the rail on this piece is code 55 and this is code 70. So probably end up pulling the rail off of this. But at least the ties are in place. We don't have to deal with that. We'll replace it with probably code 70. It'd be nice if it was all code 55. Who knows? Maybe we'll do that. There we go. I think that is going to work out nicely. This is a Bachmann DC locomotive that Jim has put a decoder in and sound. And we're testing it out. And it seems to be working quite well. Okay, so here's the thing. Destroying things and taking stuff apart usually goes pretty quick. Building it and putting it all back together some other way, that takes a little while. So not a whole lot of progress, but definitely some progress. That's good. So I'll show you. Take a look. You can't see anything from here, but we've pulled track out, as you saw earlier, from inside this mountain, down underneath. Pulled out some track. They had some hand-laid track there, hand-laid road bed. So we pulled it out so we could use it. This is by no means mounted permanently or anything, but what we have done is have got pieces of the old road bed, and I have actually spliced them together, connected them together to where they will work. There's one piece, here's another splice right here. So that's connected there. And that's actually all one piece. This got all messed up, so I fixed that. The rail's not okay, but you know, the road bed is. And we just put this piece in here temporarily just to connect it to this side, that side there, and this side, so we can kind of figure out what the grade is gonna look like. We got to reuse the tunnel portal. So what's neat is in Como, there is this street here, and then it actually did go down that way, which it will, and back around over here, which it will continue to do. And this road we will continue to make go across this way, and it'll probably go down into here and feed the mine up there. You can loop around and come back down around that way. We will connect these two pieces together next time probably, and get a different level that will actually show us the percentage in grade, and that will help us figure out what we want to do. Now, I talked about putting a coke furnace in here. I got some other pictures for that, because the other ones I had in the last video were like the beehive type of charcoal ones. These were not in Como necessarily, but they were in Colorado, a couple different places. So I am not going to do this at this moment. It would be cool, but we really need to get this back up and running. There is a place for it where I can totally put in a spur here and come off this way if I want, and we can put coke furnaces right here if we want. We could do that later. We want to get this back up and running, so we're not going to do extra turnouts and stuff if we don't need to right now. This is not necessarily the height it's going to be, but it's real close. So that's kind of what we got done. Did do a little bit on the standard gauge layout. I'll show you that right now. So again, this is the area that's feeding into this yard. And we just got this road bed that we've kind of rebuilt, painted black. And it's pretty much ready to have track laid down on it. We will not spike it down or whatever. This it's just a lot of weirdness underneath here. So we're probably gonna glue it down. Maybe some caulking or something to hold that down. So this is getting better. So one of the other projects that's going on that I was not aware of, we had this turnout here and there's a signal up here and it tells you which way this turnout is set. This is a long siding, one of our longer sidings. Signals tell you which way it's set, but you can't see it coming at it from this side. This is the track that leads into that. And I guess we're going to be adding a signal into here, in this area. So that, in this area. So you can see which way that turnout is when you are down over this way. So, Jim's working on that a little bit, and John, I think, both. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Not a whole lot. Like I said, we got this track in here. Hopefully in the next few videos soon we'll get something actually running in here again. That would be really nice. And maybe get some scenery going next after that so there's not a big hole here. Yeah, I think that's about it. So again, my name's Don. Thanks for watching our videos. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff and things, and we'll see you around the bend. Yeah, something like that. Later.